iHeartMiko podcast, episode 177. Today is August 19, 2019. I am back in my LA studio with the network studio. Shout out Mike for finding some time for me today. I have a very, very amazing and awesome show for you guys today. One of my favorite people on social media, first of all, just social media alone, you are a fucking show. You are entertaining as hell, from sports talk to real nigga shit to the type of weed you smoke, everything. Mr. Steven Jackson, welcome to the iHeartMiko podcast.
Finally, huh?
Finally! Right? It took the big three for us to get here, I feel like. You know, that was our connection, our final link. We kicked it like 48 hours ago in Texas. Where you from? We had a good time.
Had a good time, yeah.
Yes. Congratulations for the Killer Threes making it to the playoffs of the Big Three. That's big. Last year y'all was struggling, and but y'all pushed. The last 2 years.
2
years, yeah. I don't even count 2017. That was like an off year for everybody. That was just a tester year,
Yeah.
But before we get into all the things you're doing right now, I wanted to take it back a little bit, because a lot of my listeners, I have a lot of non-sports listeners. So a lot of times I have to educate them on people that are on. So I wanted to give them a little bit of a preview of who you are. You're an NBA champion, first of all. So congratulations on that. A lot of people cannot say that in all the years and the efforts and things they put into basketball. I know the money is important, you know what I'm saying, and your integrity for what you do. But a championship in that league is just, it's amazing, So congratulations for being a champion.
Thank you.
And you're from Texas. I know that.
Arthur.
Port Arthur, Texas.
Rest in peace, Pimp C. Gotta say that.
Oh Lord, we heard a lot of Pimp C the other night too. That was cool. That was cool. I like Texas. I like the music. I like everything that comes up out of there, because it's just a different sound. Everybody has their sound. The West Coast has a sound. Atlanta, New York, even Florida. Texas has
even Detroit too.
Detroit, yeah. I can't even leave them out no more. Detroit got a sound, so the Texas
chopped and screwed
sound is distinct. You don't mistake it for nothing else, and the shit is dope. So I had fun. I was baked, and I'm motherfucking.
We all was
baked, man. I tried to get one drink in. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not gonna battle with both of these.
Nice.
Yeah. So you're from Texas, and I know the things that are I know the things that are online about you that people can read, but I wanted to get your version of your life, because what people read is, you came from Texas, you didn't get drafted, you committed to University of Arizona, didn't go, went to JUCO. There's a rumor going around that you low-key gave Cedric Ceballos some smoke with Phoenix, and that's kind of how you got drafted. So give my listeners a little bit of a history of Steven Jackson and how you made it to the NBA.
Well, I graduated. I came out in '96. I was in the same McDonald's game with Kobe Bryant, Jermaine O'Neal, Tim Thomas, Mike Bibby.
Which you led the game in points.
Richard Hamilton too. I think another guy, Lester Earl, a couple other guys that made the NBA was in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I did lead it in scoring. Didn't get MVP though.
Right.
But I led the game in scoring. It was a great experience to be able to say I did that with them, though, those guys. Mm-hmm. And I signed to go to University of Arizona with Mike Bibby, but I didn't have a grade, so I never took school serious.
You was messing up in school.
I have to get back in school. I can't go home and tell my mom I got kicked out of school.
Like most athletes, you weren't messing up. You just going. Oh my Lord, Jack.
Messing up and not going.
That's two different things.
I'm going to lunch and gym, and that's all I need. But end up going signing with Arizona. I was on campus the whole first semester, damn near the whole first semester until basketball season started. Then I had to leave campus and end up going to stay with Mike Bibby's mom. And I actually went to Butler Junior College for like a week or two. I never played. I went there for like a week or two and stayed in campus, then left. College wasn't for me at all. That's why I never went.
Hey,
it wasn't for me. So ended up going stay with Mike's mom, and because if I went back home, no telling what would have happened.
We all know.
So I understand. And she knew it, and her and my mom had a good relationship at the time, so she knew all about how I was living back home, and So she had me come stay with her while Mike was at University of Arizona. They ended up winning the national championship.
Right.
And I'm at staying with her, working out every day. Well, she wakes me up one morning and tells me, bring your basketball shoes. We're going to play somewhere. I have no idea she's taking me down to the Phoenix Suns arena. So she take me down to the arena. As we go, I'm like, I have no idea. I'm like, no, I'm not playing no basketball here. But she takes me in the practice gym, and the whole team is there. Cedric Sabalas, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, all those guys. And they, getting ready for the season. So Danny Ainge had heard about me. I guess she had talked to Danny Ainge or whatever. So she brought me up there to play pickup. Well, Jason Kidd ended up picking me on this team. And I was so excited. I was young. I was raw. I wasn't taking no answers from nobody. I'm 41 now and still don't take no answers. So I was 18, just raw, full of energy, a lot just talented, and just didn't know where my life was going, but I knew I could play basketball. And I went out there and I bust Cedric Sabalas' ass. I destroyed him. And
so that rumor is true then.
Yeah, that rumor is true. They had one draft pick that year, and they told me after that day, they told me they was going to draft me, and they kept their word.
Wow.
But they said what they said is, we're going to draft you with our last pick. We're going to guarantee you $250K, but we're going to cut you because our roster's full, but we have to draft somebody in that spot. I was fine with it.
Like, whatever.
$250K, I get drafted, and they told me they was going to send me to the CBA at the time. The CBA was the worst league ever. Yeah. But I knew that was a opportunity to start my career, so I wasn't tripping at all.
Okay. So that was real then. So you didn't end up playing your first NBA game until 2000 with the Nets, right?
Yep. Then I'm starting my first NBA game.
That was almost 4 years later. You didn't get your first pro start. That's crazy. So your career technically didn't start until 2010.
Yep.
I mean, not 2000.
2000.
Yeah, until 2000.
2001.
Yep. Dang. So then you went on, like, I know your game because, I was a hooper and I followed you, but I know that you went on, you was balling. You won a championship with the Spurs. Mm-hmm. That was crazy. You was balling. You was the third leading scorer on that team. I remember that. You balled the fuck out in Atlanta. You brought the Bobcats their first playoff run. And then Malice in the Palace happened. And I was just like, first of all, me as a hooper, I've been through a lot of shit, with fans and things going on. So I completely understood what went down with you. I completely respected the fact that you had your teammates back no matter what.
Artesta's in the stands. Oh, this is awful. Fans are getting involved. Steven Jackson's in the fans.
And you just, from there on out, I was just like, this is a solid ass nigga. Like, you just solid all around.
As when you grow up playing sports and like AAU and stuff like that, you grow up, you build bonds with these dudes, so they become like your brother. And with Ron, I'm with my teammates at the Indiana Pacers. I'm with them more than I'm with my family during the course of the season. Mm-hmm. So they become my brothers, and I've been knowing Ron a long time. So at that time, when that situation happened, it wasn't even me thinking about a fan. I was going there to protect my brother. Now, as I went up there to grab him and get him out the stands, another guy threw a beer in his face. All bets off after that.
It's done.
Y'all being assholes. Y'all think y'all finna get away with it? Nah, all bets off. And me personally, I would never hit a fan. And I didn't go in the stands to hit a fan. But when I went in there and saw they was still throwing beers and stuff, yeah, they deserved it, and I don't regret it at all.
Oh, that was my next question was going to be, do you regret any of it?
Nah,
none.
I don't regret none of it. I'm going to ride with my brothers any day, all day. I don't regret it. I regret losing $3 million. I know one punch wasn't worth $3 million when I was defending Ron because the guy threw another beer in his face. They don't talk about none of that. All they talk about is what we did. They don't. As a matter of fact, they don't even, when they talk about it on TV, they don't even speak on the second beer being thrown in Ron's face.
Which really escalated the entire situation.
Exactly, but don't worry about it. I'm telling you now, it's coming. We got it coming soon. Me, Jay, and Ron got a real documentary.
Oh,
for the Brawl coming.
Yes, from y'all perspective, because the athlete's point of view is never shown.
I spoke on it last year sometime, and we've been working on it. So it's in the works right now, and it's going to be done soon.
That's dope, because you know what always happens is the athlete is always told to be the bigger person and be, you're the celebrity. You're never allowed to react like a normal human being. People think that athletes aren't normal human beings. They think that
Right.
because you guys play sports, you're supposed to have this superhuman power that makes you not affected by anything that happens to you just because you play sports and make lots of money doing it, that somehow you're not human and you don't respond and react to real nigga shit like everybody else.
Anybody throw a chair at you, you're going to defend yourself. And if not, then you need to stay home.
You just stay the fuck home.
You need to stay home.
Now, when I said you were a champion and you were a McDonald's All-American, you led that team in points. One thing that I feel like is truly missing from your resume is an All-Star appearance. Do you feel like that brawl and the shooting, you remember the shooting in Indiana too that took place? Do you regret that one?
I don't regret that either because that's the same type of situation. I was in my car leaving. I'm actually doing an hour 15, hour and a half little movie about the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
But I was defending my teammate. I was in my car leaving the club, and as I was leaving the club, I saw guys chasing him towards his car. So as loyal as I am with my teammates, that never changed. I backed up, hopped out, and one thing led to the other, and shots rang out. But and I ended up getting hit by the car, losing all my teeth out of all of it. So, but at the end of the day, I don't regret that either because I was,
Fuck it.
I was being me. I wasn't trying to be nothing that I'm not. So I was just being me, and that's the situation. You know what I mean? But that situation and the brawl definitely affected me from making All-Star games. I should have made the All-Star game at least 4 or 5 times.
At least 4 is what I said. 4.
I remember the year in Charlotte. I remember this year when I went when Gerald Wallace made it in Charlotte. And everybody, that's the year I got there. Everybody was saying I should have made it, but I was happy for Gerald because that was my brother too. And then Paul Pierce got dropped out. Paul Pierce dropped out for an injury.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was just saying, it was all those papers. I just knew I was going to make it. And they ended up putting David Lee in.
Oh,
to the
man.
point where it was so disrespectful and
blatant disrespect.
MJ had to make a call. MJ made a call to the league. It was like, man, it's just obvious. You know what I'm saying? Why I'm not getting the opportunity. But at the end of the day, my peers, I got the respect for my peers and the great coaches I played for, so I'm fine with that.
That's one thing that I did read. Every single coach that has ever coached you has said, not only are you an incredible talent, the only negative I've ever heard about your game is that you don't rebound. It's the only thing I've ever heard. Other than that, I've heard you do every single thing on the court. I've heard you are the best teammate. I heard you are an incredible leader. I heard you are a great locker room guy, good character. Fans love you. You are always shaking hands and kissing babies. You are just a nice all-around human being. And for me, that's what bothers me is because the NBA stuck to those negative things about you as opposed to all of these incredible positive things that you've done. They didn't want to accept like the fact that you were caught up in some situations where you were defending your family and your brothers. And if you're still allowed to play in the league, then you should be able to make the All-Star game. Like if it was that bad, why didn't they just kick you out the league?
Yeah. And I, you know what? It's that in a nutshell. I mean, they never showed any light on my play. It was all about the past and the type of person they thought I was. But at the end of the day, Miko, I didn't give a damn. I didn't give a damn at all. I was doing what I love to do. I was taking care of my family, my kids. So what they thought about me, I really didn't give a fuck. But they knew at the end of the day that I should have been an All-Star. Like I said, every All-Star that I lined up against, I had their respect. And they knew every night they played against me,
they had a problem.
It felt like they was playing against an All-Star. So at the end of the day, I'm cool with that.
One of the things that I love about your game the most is even though I know that you can score the basketball, you clearly proved that in your many years in the NBA. But one of the things that I respect about you, because some guys are only one side of the ball, especially in your position, because you're playing like a 3-man, which is low-key the jack-of-all-trade position. And you were defending people as well. Like niggas knew you was coming in having a seat in big moments. And
I was telling people all the time, not to cut you off, but I've been telling people, man, if they want to really talk about this two-way player shit, me and Ron Artest and guys like that been doing this shit for years. Yeah. So and there wasn't no light on it. That's just how we played. We wasn't trying to be a two-way player. That's a part of the game. Play on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm. And then so when you went back to the Spurs and Kawhi was there, that was your first time not starting, who Kawhi is like the ultimate right now. He is like the two-way god. How did it feel, going back there and having to come off the bench and things like that and take a back seat to a guy who's now Kawhi Leonard?
Well, I was fine with that because, it was transforming to his team. People don't never talk. They talk about all this stuff with the Spurs, but every time I played for the Spurs, we made it to at least to the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, they don't bring that up.
They don't.
But
That's true.
But I had a lot of respect for Kawhi because I understood him and he understood me, and he's seen a lot of things in the organization before I even got there that I told him about that was gonna happen.
Oh, and it
look
did.
What ended up happening.
No, that's crazy, right?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and we had a lot of talks. And I told him he had to be careful. I knew, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a diss to Pop, but he had his three guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tony Parker, Ginobili, and Tim, and there's nothing wrong with that. All coaches got their guys.
Right.
But he was loyal to those three guys before anything. And I knew they would show that sooner or later.
Yeah. Now I know you won a championship with them, but of the other teams that you played on, what was your favorite team? Because I know you played with Boom. You played with Ron Artest. You know, you were
It's only one team that showed me love. You know, I won a championship with the Spurs, but they don't treat me like family.
The Warriors.
There's only one. Charlotte. I got Charlotte to the playoffs for the first time. They don't treat me like family. The only team that treat me like family is the Golden State Warriors. They bring me back. They bring me back every year. They fly us out to the games. Like no other team makes us feel like family or makes us feel like appreciated for what we've done. You know, it's definitely the Warriors by far.
When we were in, I forget what city it was, but it might have been Atlanta. I'm not sure. But somebody brought up, no, it was actually in Charlotte when the Big Three played in Charlotte. And they were asking you about Charlotte and you said some shit, boy.
They don't know how to, they never appreciated their players.
Yeah.
Gerald Wallace, we made the playoffs the first year.
And they got rid of him.
He makes the All-Star game next year during the season, somewhere they trade him. I'm like, what? They don't bring our starting point guard back. It was a lot of stuff. It was a lot of stuff going on. But, it wasn't my job to keep the team together. But if something's working and it's winning and it's putting fans in the stands,
keep it.
And you get to the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Why do you think they did that, though? It's just bad business? You think they just didn't know what they were doing? Or did you think it was something personal?
It had to be bad business because basketball-wise, we were winning. Mm-hmm. We were filling the stands up. Mm-hmm. So that means you're selling merch. Mm-hmm. So I see all that stuff beneficial. It had to be bad business. We were doing our job.
So they just didn't know what they had. That's crazy. So you spoke about being I heard I've been watching Hard Knocks and I heard them talking about once a Raider, always a Raider. And it seems like with the Warriors, that's the same thing. And now that they're Big Three and their whole run has dismantled and separated, what do you think is next for them? Like they've got a new stadium now, so it's like a whole new team and everything. Well, how far do you think that the Warriors can go next year without Klay being healthy from the beginning of the season? I'm pretty sure he'll join the team, maybe after All-Star or something. I'm imagining he might be ready by then. But what do you think is next for them knowing that their whole thing is blown up?
Well, it's going to be a different team without Klay. But at the same time, people that understand basketball know that the style of play, the way they play,
it's
and
good.
The people that they put in those positions, they're going to compete with everybody. They play fast. D'Angelo Russell's a star in this league. He's an all-star.
Absolutely.
So he's not a shooter like Klay, but he's a guy that can take over a game and that can average 20, 25 points a night every night, 25 points a night a game. So for the most part, they got a lot of pieces. I like the guy they got from Sacramento, Willie
Cauley-Stein, the big guy.
I like him.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond is still one of the best players in this game, one of the best defenders in this game. So, and we ain't got to talk about Steph. I still like this team, and even with all the moves that's been made in the West, I still see them as a top 4, top 5 team in the West.
Now, what do you think what happens when Klay comes back? Does D'Angelo still start? How do you put those 3 guards in the starting lineup that small, especially in the West?
It'll work.
It'll work.
Clay's gonna guard all the big guys, and D'Angelo's gonna have to start guarding. His defense is gonna have to get better. He's gonna have to guard the shooting guards.
Because Steph don't be playing no D either.
A lot of teams don't have a good shooting guard and a good small forward. So whatever's the great guard, Klay can always guard him. Mm-hmm. And he can guard the off guy, but it's gonna work. You're gonna start those 3 guys. You're gonna start Draymond and Willie Cauley-Stein. I like it.
You like it. There's rumors that they might be trading him. You think that's true?
Trading who?
D'Angelo Russell. There's some Orlando rumors with them getting Gordon from Orlando.
I don't like that shit.
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
I don't like that. I think Gordon's nice. Don't get me wrong. That'll be a nice trade, but I like D'Angelo Russell. I think what I think they're going to do, I think they're going to start off with him, see how he's doing preseason, see how he do at the beginning of the season. But before the trade deadline, if he's not balling and they're not looking good, I think they'll make a move then.
Okay. Speaking of moves made, one of the biggest moves besides Kawhi to the Clippers was Westbrook to Houston. Everybody has an opinion on that. My opinion is I always see Westbrook as one of the most incredible basketball players ever, but he doesn't play the style of basketball that I like, that I think, constitutes winning a championship. But a lot of people are saying that this matchup won't work because of the style that Houston plays and Westbrook not having a secure jump shot. What is your opinion of the two LA boys coming together in Houston and trying to go for a championship?
Well, for me, it ain't none of that. It ain't Russ averaging the triple-double in the NBA. Ain't nothing wrong with that game. James is averaging 95 points a game.
Now, James, yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with his game. 95. It's the coach.
It's the coach.
System. It's the coach.
Which coach? Is we talking about Oklahoma?
D'Antoni is not the coach.
Okay.
D'Antoni is not the coach for them two. You need a dominant coach. You need a coach with more playing experience.
But who's out there?
You need I like Ty Lue.
T. Lue, respect.
T. Lue will be good. People talk about Mark Jackson. I love Mark Jackson in that position because he's going to make this team not only a great offensive team but a better defensive team. And that's what they really suck at.
Yeah.
On the defensive end.
Yeah, and most of the teams that have high offense like that don't play defense outside of the Warriors. They're one of the only teams that I know that give it to you on both ends. But as far as T. Lue, I think he would be good because the players will respect him, just from him, being a player. He coached LeBron. He won with, a championship. And then on the other side with Mark Jackson, I don't think it's going to happen. I have been told by a source that the reason Mark Jackson is banned from NBA coaching is because of some stuff has nothing to do with him being very religious and pushing his religion on certain people and being a hater of someone being gay. It has something to do with the NBA finding out that he had a sex tape out.
That sex tape I released should be everywhere by now.
A nasty one. A real nasty one. And they had to pay.
My first time hearing this. I don't believe that, though.
Let me tell you.
I don't believe that. I got to see that.
Right.
I got to see that.
Apparently he was on a road. This is the story that I heard. He was on a road trip with the team and he bought some pussy from a real life prostitute, and instead of getting it in his room, he got it in her room, and they recorded it. And apparently, it was some nastiness. You know
why I don't believe that?
Why?
Miko?
Tell me.
Because he wouldn't be working on TV.
I don't even know. I truly don't know. I was told that the NBA bought this sex tape, like bought it or something, and it was a high price. I want to know the truth. I don't want to know if that is truly true.
I cannot. No, that's not true.
It ain't true? Don't believe it?
That ain't true. Until it come out, it's not true. Because let me tell you this. There's no way he will be working on TV and all these big old games if that was true.
What if this tape is gone now? What if it was
NBA
bought?
knew about it, these networks just as big as the NBA, they'll know as well.
Respect. I personally think regardless, even if he did
crazy.
Yeah. Even if he did have a nasty sex tape out with some prostitutes, I still don't feel like he should lose his coaching job over that. Like people cheat every day. I don't care. It doesn't really matter to me, but I don't know. That's the rumor that's out there, that it's a nasty little tape that he had I'm assuming there might have been more than one person there. If you know what I mean.
I don't know. I ain't rocking with that.
And apparently that's why he was banned. I don't know, but I feel like Mark Jackson is one of the people that absolutely deserves one of these coaching jobs out here. When he was with the Warriors,
he does.
He started this motherfucking Warrior shit, and now look at the thanks he getting. A lot of people don't like to give him credit. They always try to say he wasn't coaching the team as well. They didn't play defense. You got to build. You were building that team. That was a process, and he started the process. And I feel like he could have done everything that I'm seeing Steve Kerr do, and that's no shade to Steve Kerr at all. It's just
a lot of people saying that, but I think just like I said, I'm cool with my peers and the players I play against. I have their respect. I think at the end of the day, he know the guys that's on that team. They know where they started and where it came from, and I haven't heard one guy on that team speak bad about Mark or say he wasn't a big piece
that's
into
what
getting
matters.
them to where they are today. So you know what I mean. Until they do, people got to give him his props, but they just refuse to because they so caught up in the moment with Steve Kerr. He's a great coach. That's my guy. Steve Kerr, my guy. But give respect when respect due.
Yes. Speaking of respect, AD and LeBron, that's a very respectable matchup. Do you think that sends them to the Western Conference Finals automatically?
That's a whole bunch of nastiness.
That's nasty, right? You got two players who are automatic first round draft picks on the same roster. When's the last time we've seen something like that where you have a player where you're like coming out of college or even out of high school where you say this guy must go in the first round?
Okay, LeBron played with about 7 first-round picks, Miko.
No, but I'm saying like a for sure, absolute, like a AD or like
Kyrie.
Kyrie was not AD when he came out. AD was a
Kyrie played 3 college games and went #1 pick.
I mean, yeah, but he still wasn't him. He's still a guard. To me, AD's size, his athleticism, the things that he can do make him a more important, not important, but you know what I mean? Like a different echelon of a player.
Athletic Tim Duncan.
Yes. And so to have that and then have LeBron, it just seems unfair. But I like what the league is doing right now because now there's no more big 3. It's a lot of big 2s everywhere, which kind of evens out the playing field everywhere. But you still got LeBron and AD.
My boy Boogie. They would have had a big 3 of Boogie because Boogie would have came back this year. I just hate that happened to him, man. It's just he had a lot of bad luck. But the Lakers gonna look good, man. I think if they add Dwight.
Yeah, what do you think about that addition? You think that's a good move? Do you think the Laker Nation has forgiven Dwight Howard? Like, is it okay now? Because he has some.
They're going to forgive him as soon as he run out that tunnel with a Laker jersey on.
They're going to forgive him?
As soon as he sign that contract, they're going to forgive him. Fans are, what have you done for me lately?
That's true.
And if he comes on this team and get the ball and then they win, we think the white fans, the new Superman is back, all that stuff.
So it's going to be all forgiven.
Yes.
So who do you got coming out the West in the Western Conference Finals? If you had to pick right now today, just looking at what everybody has now, who would you say would meet in the Western Conference Finals?
If I had to pick a team right now, I'm going with the Clippers.
Clippers and who? Playing who?
The Clippers playing either the Warriors the Lakers or Warriors.
Cannot argue with that. I'm so proud of my city. LA is on. Kawhi's
here. The Clippers gonna have one of the best defenses of all time.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty nasty. Then they got Lou Will coming off the bench for offensive purposes that are just disrespectful at this point.
A walking bucket.
Yeah, just a walking bucket. I'm a Laker fan because I'm from LA, but I'm also a LeBron fan. But I'm not the kind of fan that's gonna be like, oh no, the Lakers are better than them. No, that's a squad right there. That's a squad. And the only reason that I lean...
It's two owners of Staples Center right now.
Yes.
It was one owner for a long time.
Yes.
It's 2 owners now.
Now it's 2 owners. And the only reason I lean towards the Lakers is because they have LeBron James. That separates the team from everybody else. But when it's all said and done, we don't know. That right there could go either way. And the Staples Center crown is up for grabs this year. And I think it's exciting.
And isn't that the first game?
Yeah. Yes, I believe it. It's going to be exciting. I'm pumped. Kawhi left Toronto, so normally when you win a championship, the championship got to come through your city, and nobody believes now that Toronto is going back to the championship.
Toronto don't believe it either.
So now let's just say Milwaukee. The championship comes through Milwaukee. Would you agree with that?
No.
Who does the championship come through in the East? Philly. Why is that?
I got Philly or Boston.
Oh, tell me why.
I like Philly because they added Horford. They're gonna put him and big fella Embiid. They're gonna punish everybody in the paint in the East. They're gonna punish everybody. Hopefully Ben Simmons have a better year. They added the kid from Miami, Richards. So they should be better. And I think Boston is gonna be better with Kemba.
Yeah, Kemba. I've always loved him.
To me, but they're gonna be better with Kemba because they have so much talent over there. That talent can flourish now. You know, Kyrie is such a great player. You have to let him do what he does. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to be better off from Brooklyn. But Boston is going to look real good. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to talk about Brooklyn until KD gets back.
Yeah, that's not even a discussion. Now, the guys in Boston were struggling to share the ball with Kyrie to back down to who you would presume is the leader, the guy that you concede to, give the ball to. Do you think that Kemba will be received differently than Kawhi was?
Yes, I think so. Like I said, it's a what have you. They're the prisoners of the moment. We We lost Kyrie.
Yeah.
We got Kimba. Okay, now Kimba's our guy.
Okay.
You know, and we gonna rock with Kimba until we don't win. That's how fans are. You know how they go.
Yeah.
But I think I'm happy first of all that Kimba got his money.
That is for sure.
They should have paid him.
Yeah.
Man, from what they had in that locker room, you know, now they got lucky and got Rozier. They got lucky.
Yeah.
And got Rozier. That's he can ball too, but they didn't pay him. I'm happy he got his money and he on the better team.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's sad about Boogie, too. I feel like Boogie never got paid, man. He never got that bag, and he just kept getting injured every time it was an opportunity for him to get paid. That's one thing. I like players to succeed, you know, in their career and win games and get to championships, but ultimately, I also like to see players get paid, and that's another thing that we didn't see Isaiah Thomas didn't get a bag either for all the hard work and shit he did in Boston as well. And that's just unfortunate, but
yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, I wanted to jump over because I ain't gonna keep you too long. I know we both got shit to do, but I wanted to ask you about your opinion on Jay-Z signing up with the NFL to what he calls do some social reforms and then also, you know, run all the performances for Super Bowls and shows for the NFL. Are you picking a side? Because most people have picked a side. I have for sure picked a side. Are you picking a side? Are you staying neutral? What is your opinion on that entire situation?
Well, this, you know, I'm my own man, so this is how I look at it. I look at it like this. First of all, I understand what Jay-Z's saying when it wasn't ever about kneeling. One, I get that. It wasn't. It's about social injustice. I get that. Two, what's next? I understand that. What's after kneeling? I understand that part of it. And three, I understand that Kaepernick got paid some money too. I don't know how much. So at the end of the day, me as Steven Jackson, I would be up there saying this. I got the partnership with him. Yes, I'm what Kaepernick and what they stood for and kneeled for. I mean, I'm standing on that 10 toes down, just like they would, while I'm doing this Super Bowl shit too. But at the same time, why is Kaepernick not having a job?
Oh.
So me, I couldn't do one without the other.
Right. That was my opinion.
Because even though kneeling was not about him having a job, it is about him having a job at the same time. Because the reason he don't have a job is the fact that he had the balls to stand up and do it. So therefore, if he's still working out, if you see this man still working out, still posting workouts on his page, then it is about him having a job because he lost something that he loved, and that's the game of football. So I see it from both sides because I love the game of basketball. So if I was Jay-Z, I would have stood on both topics. I wouldn't exclude one.
Right.
I would. It's about social justice, and it's also about Kaepernick having a job. You can't do one without the other in my book.
Yeah, and you know, my problem with the entire situation is Kaepernick finding out like the rest of us on social media. To me, just a year ago, you were wearing his jersey. You were telling other artists not to perform at the Super Bowl. You also told Jermaine Dupri to decline the same deal with the NFL, saying it was a bad look for us because we're with Kaepernick. And then to see you sign the exact same deal. And this is my thing. Even if you signed the deal, one, that you should have took that meeting with Kaepernick. You should have at least allowed the NFL to understand what we've already been trying to do and let Kaepernick explain why people are still kneeling. Kenny Stills is still kneeling. Michael Thomas still kneeling. You know, we've got all these guys still kneeling. And the reason for that, Eric Reed still kneeling. The reason is because they haven't done what they said they were going to do. They haven't. So if you take that meeting, you discuss with them what the players that are still kneeling feel. You don't ever go into a conference room and say, we're past kneeling when you have actually never kneeled. You see what I mean? You're disrespecting people that are still risking their career and their livelihood on the front line. So that meeting should have been taken with those guys' opinions already in your head. And then when you announce to the world that you've done this partnership, we shouldn't still be here a week later saying, well, what are you doing? All you've told us is you're going to do something. So you signed a contract without anything in writing of already things that you're going to change. Now we have to wait and see what you're going to change. It looks like catfish. It looks like some bullshit to me.
It sounds tainted to me.
And to do it on the anniversary, the 3-year anniversary of Kaepernick kneeling, that was the actual day that they announced it. And it seems strategic by the NFL.
I damn sure don't trust the NFL, but me being the man and me, you know, being able to look at both things as far as a businessman and an athlete, a lot of people can't do that. They can't look at it from an athlete and from the business side. me, I can't see how you can do that deal and it not be about, Kaepernick having a job either. It has to be both at the same time. Me knowing Jay-Z,
Mm-hmm.
he got something up his sleeve.
He better.
I refuse to go against
we
him.
all refuse it.
Every time they go against him, he always drop a bomb and people end up biting their words. And I ain't worried about biting my words, but I honestly feel like, he got some up his sleeve. But I do agree with you. It ain't no more saying we passed nil and all that, and saying it's not about Kaepernick having the job. No, it's about Kaepernick having the job too. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It absolutely is. And that's the part of it that he lost me on. Jay-Z has done so many things for our community, but I don't like to bring up the negative things, but he has also done some negative things in our community. But that's not who I am. As a Black woman, I try to support my people at all time. I think Jay-Z has made some bad business decisions in the past.
They're not, Miko,
right.
They're not looking at it from an athlete side.
Yes.
When I got suspended 30 games for the brawl,
yeah,
I was losing weight. I was depressed. Because the game of basketball, what I've been doing my whole life, was taken from me.
Yeah.
The game of football has been taken from this man because he decided to stand up for a country, for a race, a whole race of people. Mm-hmm. So football means something to him. It might not mean nothing to Jay-Z and the other people in the office, but it means something to him. And I think once Jay-Z and those other people who decide to do this deal understand that, then they'll be able to come into this world and kind of take that statement back, because it is about him playing football.
Yes, it absolutely is, man. And speaking of that, you love basketball, you love the game, and that's part of the reason why you're playing in the Big Three. Obviously, it does pay some of the guys, but you are, an established, NBA veteran, and you're playing there obviously because you love it. Tell me why you decided to play in the Big Three. It takes a lot. You got to get in shape. You got to travel on weekends, which is your free time. Luckily, it's only in the summer. Why did you decide to do the Big Three, and why are you continuing to do it? What do you love about it?
It's the game of basketball. The game has changed my life, taking care of my family, changed my kids' life. The game has done so much for me, and I still play. I still work out. Tomorrow I'm waking up at 6 a.m. to go play. I wake up at 6 a.m. 3 days a week and go play basketball. So I've always been doing it. So when the Big Three came around, it was perfect because I still play basketball at a high level. And I thank Cuban, Jeff, and LL for this opportunity, because I still play, and I get a chance to compete on a high level. I get a chance to build that bond that I have with all my brothers in the NBA that's playing in this league now. Being able to go out to eat and party with them on weekends, all that stuff that I missed from playing in the NBA, we get a chance to enjoy that for 10 weekends. So it was a blessing in disguise for me, because I got tired of beating up people down here at the LA Fitness. I wanted to play against some NBA guys and get some real run, and it's a perfect situation for me.
Yeah, you guys. I had you guys. You guys were probably my favorite first pick. Like your team was my early easy pick. I obviously jumped on the triplets bandwagon after a little while. The enemies, I thought they were going to do better, but they needed Gilbert. They needed Gilbert to be Gilbert.
Yes.
And that kind of got in the way of what they were trying to do. But Three-Headed Monsters kind of snuck up on me. Power, obviously, I thought was going to be there. But you guys have the championship, the playoffs next week in New Orleans. You guys are playing Power now. I talked to you about this in the press conference, but they are wounded. You got a wounded animal down there, and people are constantly saying that the Toronto championship has an asterisk by it because they played a wounded Warriors team. Do you believe in an asterisk by a championship because a team is injured or whatever, suspensions or any of that kind of stuff?
Injuries is a part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
When we won it in 2003 in the Western Conference Finals, Dirk got hurt in that series.
Yeah, I remember.
And we ended up winning 4-2. So a championship is a championship, and they don't put asterisks on the rings.
They sure don't.
They don't put an asterisk on the banner when they raise it up. So I don't believe in that. I think we all know it probably would have been a different situation if the Warriors were healthy, but at the same time, if it wasn't fifth, we'll all be drawn.
All of us.
The Toronto Raptors are the champions, and we just got to deal with it and give them their props.
So you guys got to face Power, the reigning champions. I personally believe I don't know what happened to Big Baby. I know he got helped off the court. Coutinho has been struggling with his calf/Achilles. He hasn't played in 2 weeks. You guys are going to face them. You guys are the better team right now. Flat out. You're the better team.
Let me tell you one thing about Power.
Tell me about it.
They got a team full of professionals.
Yes.
And I guarantee you, all those guys are doing whatever they need to do to get their body right to play against us because they want to defend their title.
Mm-hmm.
We're not overlooking them. We're not expecting this team to come in hobbling. We're expecting to get their best shot, and we're going to treat them like champions come playing them this weekend.
Yes, I'm pumped. I'm going to be there, of course, supporting everybody. It's tough for me because I have a personal, I feel like the guys that I know, I like y'all, I want to root for y'all. I got some killer threes, breakaways. I got an enemy's jacket, but I got killer threes, breakaways. I wear them all the time. I just feel like it's like a whole nother NBA to me. Like, it's really exciting to watch. People think that, half court basketball isn't like aggressive and it isn't, high impact. It is. It's actually worse because you don't have that ability to. Yeah, you don't even have that ability to run back down on defense and set your feet. As soon as that shot is missed, you're on defense. You got to turn around and play D. And that's the cardio part of it. A lot of guys don't expect. And I love to see all of you guys that were great at that in your prime, still hooping and still balling. Like, it's exciting for me to just watch it and be a part of it. So I just want to say thank you to you also, because you guys, when I watch your press conferences, when I see you keep it real about everything, that's another thing I love about this league. Everybody can smoke weed. I see you with the Voila. Can you tell my listeners about Voila and Al Harrington and your collaboration with him on that weed company?
Voila is the company. We also have a CBD called Replay Hemp.
Okay.
Harrington Wellness is the family. Started by Al Harrington. We're in several states: Detroit, Denver, California, Seattle, Portland. We're around. When you see the purple jar with Voila on it, you know it's us.
Yes.
We started in 2007, and Al has done a remarkable job with taking this thing to the top of the cannabis game. And steady growing, man. I give all props to Al. He put us all in a great position. I've been with him since day one, since we started the first grow house in Denver, Colorado, and I just got to take my hat off to him. But man, y'all support Viola, y'all support Repay Hemp. We everywhere. Come join the family.
I tried to join the family in 2015. I actually had a meeting with Al. I was with Brandon Jennings, a couple other players, and I was like, put me. Like he was looking for investors, and I was like, put me on. And I think he didn't think I had no bread. I feel like he thought I didn't have that bag, and I was like, this is a little disrespectful. I was the only woman in the meeting, the only female, and I was speaking for my family. I have a bag. I'm capable, but I just feel like I wasn't treated like, I don't know. Maybe it was because I was a girl, but because he kept talking about how much money, he needed people to invest to get in, and I was like, got it. What's up? But I'm proud.
Maybe y'all just needed to have another sit down.
Yeah.
Everything is just a conversation.
That's all it is. Yeah, and I didn't know him. That was my first time meeting him as well. So he probably didn't really know me. He might not have known, but I'm still proud of y'all. I'm just happy to watch my brothers doing something after basketball, because a lot of people don't have a plan B. They don't realize that you still got to keep hustling and making money and making change. And so
don't stop. Don't stop, Miko.
And so Viola got y'all out here as businessmen now doing y'all thing. Like, I respect it. I appreciate it. I know that you are trying to do All the Smoke podcast. Are you guys doing that as a podcast, as a show? What's going on with that?
Yeah, I can't announce who we're doing it with yet because they want to announce it October 1st. Okay. But me and Matt Barnes, we got a podcast and a show called All the Smoke coming October 1st. We're excited about it. It's what the game been missing. It's sponsored by Viola, so we're going to be blowing big on there.
I want to be on. Call me.
Yeah, we definitely going to have you on the show. You know that.
Yes.
Might be our first guest. So
boom.
It's going to be a movie. It's going to be a movie. Just think of it as Redman and Method Man doing ESPN. That's what it's going to be like.
That is going to be lit. Before I get you out of here, is there anything else you want to tell my listeners? I wanted you to talk about your social media as well, but if there are any other camps, basketball things you have going on that you want to announce to my listeners as well?
Not at the time. I think me just sponsor my Viola, sponsor the Viola family, sponsor the Killer Threes. Say a prayer for us. We're going into the playoffs this weekend, the semifinals. Pray for my whole team. I got some young guys on my team who's been great this year, and I'm very proud of. I didn't get to this playoff the first 2 years without him. So hats off to them. Hats off to Oak. Hats off to the Big Three, Cube, and all those guys. Also, man, I replay hemp. Our CBD is new.
Okay.
Go try it. For people that don't smoke, go try our CBD. I'm telling you, it's gonna change your life.
Where can they find it?
Smoke. My aunt didn't smoke. They didn't know nothing about none of this stuff. My mom used the CBD and she smokes. My aunt smokes and uses the CBD. All the hurting in your knees, all the pain in your shoulders and your back, this stuff works wonders, and you won't fail your drug test. So get the CBD, replay hemp. Go follow us on IG, and appreciate the love, Miko. You know that.
Hey, all love, baby. I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate you so much. I will see you in New Orleans this weekend.
Safe travels.
All right, you too.
All right.
Peace. Shout out Steven Jackson for finally joining the iHeartMiko podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed talking to him. He always keeps it 1,000. If you ever looking for some entertainment and some real nigga shit, you need to follow him on Instagram. Before I get out of here, I want to let you guys know that my live show is August 31st in Miami at Miami Light Project. If you need to get tickets, it's at iHeartMikoLive.com. I have some co-hosts, some people that I'm going to announce that are going to be helping me out with the show. And I'm also going to do some ticket giveaways very soon on my social media at iHeartMiko. Check me out on Instagram. You know, I'm banned from Twitter, but I will be doing some ticket giveaways for those of you that can't be at the show, but maybe you know some people that live in Miami and you want to gift them with some tickets or invite them. Make sure you check out my social media for some ticket giveaways. As always, I'm going to be doing a whole lot of stuff this week and next week, so make sure you still continue to follow me on my social media and keep up with everything iHeartMiko on my YouTube channel, which is iHeartMiko space podcast on YouTube. Other than that, I will see you guys next week. Peace.